Namaste and welcome to Waking Up with Mindful Serenity Yoga. And we are going to continue with our concept exercise where I pull a concept related to spirituality out of a jar and I speak on it for impromptu for 5 minutes now. I'm up the time because I was going over. And when I speak on this concept, I am just sharing what I believe to be true. Please, please, please just take everything I have to say with a grain of salt. Check with others, get your evidence everywhere, in other places, and most importantly, look inside yourself to see what truth resonates within you, because there is a wise self within you that knows the truth, and it is all truth that we are looking for, whether we know it or not. So I'm going to pull a concept from the jar. I'm going to begin by taking a deep breath to kind of anchor myself into the present moment, into my body, and away from this ego that likes to go off and pretend it knows everything when it doesn't. Then I'm going to press my timer. I forgot to do that last time. It went on. And then I have a wonderful word, and the word is Christ with a capital C. Christ. Christ. And again, as I answer this question, I want to be very careful to explain that I am not an expert in anything, and this is just what comes from me. Whatever I'm saying now is just some kind of what I believe to be true and what is, resonates within me. So when we talk about Christ, we often think of the Christ. Often too, when we think of the Buddha, Buddha's, we say Buddha and then we say the Buddha. But it can be the same way with Christ. Jesus Christ we'll put with a capital C. Buddha will say the Buddha. But Christ consciousness and Buddha consciousness are basically the same thing. They're saying that we can attain that which the Buddha attained, that which Christ obtained. And I know that's going to sound very sacrilege to a lot of people out there, and it is not my intention to step on any toes. But I do strongly feel about this, so I will express what I'm thinking. And again, it's just my opinion. So when we talk about Christ consciousness, the ability to establish Christ as, there is a passage in the Bible, and I'm just, for some reason in my mind, I know this verse, but my mind just kind of goes blank sometimes, where Christ says, all this that I do, you can do and more. He says that clearly in, I think it's Luke or Mark, I'm not going to try to guess, in one passage of the gospel where he says, all this you can do and more. I sit at the right side of my Father, and all this you can do and more. What he's saying basically is that what I've accomplished, you can accomplish and more, because what he has inside of him that makes him the Christ, which I think means light or enlightened, is this wisdom that is passed on to all of us, and he's utilizing it to the max. He's utilizing it to the max, where we don't even recognize we have that light within us. We don't see it. We don't have the light of Christ. We don't realize we have that light of Christ within us. We don't realize we have the wisdom of the Buddha within us. And everybody can be a Buddha. So there is the Buddha, the first person to become enlightened, but he taught, and Buddhism continues to teach, that we all have the ability, all that Buddha nature within us. We just need to tap into it. We can all be that enlightened person, beyond the veil of personality, beyond the veil of false pretenses, beyond the veil of Maya. We have this true essence of who we are, this light within us. And that is the light of love, the light of love. And so when we are able to transcend this veil, fall back away from it, and become who we truly are, disidentify with the personality, disidentify with these belief systems that we are so caught up in and not realizing what they're actually pointing to, when we disidentify with our thinking we're just the separate body and minds, separate people on this planet, disidentify for our defense and attack mentality, we become who we truly are. We fall back into the seat of consciousness. which is the light of Christ, which is the Buddhahood, which is who we truly are. And not everybody, not even though Christ says, you know what I have accomplished, you can accomplish it more, we may never reach that state that he reached, that divine state of understanding and realization that he reached. We may not reach the state the Buddha reached, but on our mission to get there, on our road to get there, we're going to dissolve much of this illusion that we're so focused on, and we'll become to see who we truly are. And we'll fall back into the reality, into the truth of what we're supposed to be doing here on this planet. You know, they were samples of light for us. We can follow those samples. We can, sure, worship, revel, and revere those samples, if that, you know, whatever. But know that that Christ, that Buddhahood, is something that we all have the potential to explore within ourselves. So there, my time is up. Hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.